evening, my woke family. This is Scott from Woke Societies, and guys, I have a great episode lined up for you tonight. This is a good dig, and you guys are gonna find this extremely fascinating. It's good to be back in the saddle. It sucks not being able to do this as much as I was able to a few weeks ago before my whole job situation changed, but I am really pressing into the universe, and I want this to be my full-time gig. I believe I'm gonna get there. We just gotta keep grinding it out, guys. Gotta keep grinding it out. So just a quick updates on the channel. This is obviously Woke Societies here. All you guys can subscribe to my channel. My subs are still going up. My Project Looking Glass episode is almost up to 20,000 views. That's a milestone for me. It's absolutely fantastic. So guys, please like, share, subscribe, do everything you can to get these episodes out to the communities, because YouTube certainly is not recommending my videos. I can tell you that right now. Just a quick shout out to another YouTuber by the name of Crypto Mike came across the Sam Tripoli interview that I did last Monday. He live streamed a bunch of parts from it, and he seems like a really cool dude. I've never met him. He hit me up for an interview to discuss Project Looking Glass and a bunch of other topics that we're going to be doing on Friday. It's probably going to be around at Friday afternoon Eastern Standard Time. So he sent me a bunch of subscribers today just by mentioning my name here. You can see it there. So if all you guys could go over to Crypto Mike's channel, he's got some pretty good stuff on there. Just give him a subscribe. It's just out of mutual respect. Anyone that's willing to help me, I'm going to help someone else, as long as it comes from a good place of just truth, love, and just good vibes. So nothing I could see here that would deter me from telling you guys to do that. So go and subscribe to Crypto Mike's channel. We're going to be doing an interview with him on Friday afternoon, so that should be good. So what are we going to be talking about today, guys? Today we're going to be talking about this company called Ambrosia. We're going to be talking about Ambrosia. We're going to be talking about Adrenochrome, and how is this all related to the Clintons? I'm going to blow your mind, guys, because I came across some things that I didn't even know of until just recently. So I want to get into this first. We're going to get into what Ambrosia is as far as the company, what it does, and then we're going to get into the really good stuff in the middle of the episode, the meat and potatoes. We're going to talk about some Q drops that are related to this, and we're going to do fun things. So this is an article by 10. It's called "The Ambrosia, the Young Blood Transfusion Startup, is Quietly Back in Business." Earlier this year, Ambrosia, the much maligned California startup selling blood transfusions from young donors, stopped offering the procedure after the U.S. Food and Drug Administration issued a buyer beware cautioning consumers against using the service. But now, according to Ambrosia's CEO, the company is back up and running. Jesse Karmazin, the CEO and founder of Ambrosia, told 10 in an interview that the company had resumed giving customers transfusions of plasma, the colorless liquid part of the blood from young donors, about a month ago. "Our patients really want the treatment," he said. "Patients are receiving plasma transfusions from donors from ages 16 to 25 again." And look what he's charging, guys. 1 liter of this plasma cost $8,000, and if you want 2 liters, it's $12,000. Insane. In a pitch about Ambrosia at a 2017 conference on self-enhancement, Karmazin said, "We're a company interested in making you young again. Plasma contains proteins that help the blood clot, and transfusions are often performed on patients to manage excessive bleeding, such as in trauma cases, and to treat clotting disorders like hemophilia. But experts say there's no basis for using plasma to slow or reverse aging or age-related diseases like Karmazin has claimed. Critics have blasted Karmazin's transfusions as snake oil." Controversy over the company reached a head in February of 2019 when then FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb issued a strongly worded statement warning consumers against such transfusions, saying there's no proven clinical benefit of infusing plasma from young donors to mitigate, treat, or prevent aging, memory loss, or a host of serious medical conditions like Alzheimer's. Ambrosia's website claims that its transfusions have been found to produce statistically significant improvements in biomarkers related to Alzheimer's disease, cancer, and inflammation, and that customers have reported subjective improvements in memory, sleep, and other areas. And as we keep going, guys, it says people really like Ambrosia, name and brand, so Ambrosia is going to continue. He says the resounding response from people wanting to sign up was to keep things the same, so that's what we're going to do. But the FDA sees things differently. The FDA has not licensed or approved any plasma product obtained from young donors for any use. The agency said in a statement provided to 10, plasma units from young donors to treat patients, sometimes referred to as young plasma, or drugs within the meaning of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. The FDA said it does not comment on specific firms. So, guys, you have this startup here called Ambrosia. This guy, Jesse Karmazin, is the CEO, and he's giving, apparently, people of all ages blood from young people as young as 16 to give people whatever benefits he is claiming that these blood transfusions give. And he's charging an extremely ton of money, $8,000 and $12,000. And you have another article here, Huffington Post, who I rarely ever use on my channel because they're fake news. But even the Huffington Post at the time, this is from December last year of 2018, pretty much calling them out and saying this is all BS. The effects of young plasma, again, this is Karmazin talking that he's claiming that it's astounding. All these things are good. 16 to 25-year-old blood, blah, 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 blah. And as you read this article, I'll link it in the show notes below, pretty much bashing it. But what I want to get into to start out, guys, is the name of the company itself. The name of it is Ambrosia. So I looked up the meaning of Ambrosia, and actually, before we even get into that, I want to show you guys the website. It's called ambrosiaplasma.com. So you go to the website, and there's barely anything on here. It says we offer infusions of young blood from donor ages 16 to 25. It's an outpatient procedure. You must be at least 30 years old to receive the treatment. Our blood is obtained from licensed blood banks within the United States. We do not work directly with donors, blah, 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 blah. So you go to locations and pricing. It gives the locations. And if you hit contact, it just gives you some stupid sign up with a picture of a fancy doctor's office. The weird thing is, though, guys, there is nothing on the website showing statistical data of what these transfusions do. As far as scientific papers, research, there is nothing on here at all. So for me, if I was somebody that was seriously looking into this, that would be a red flag. But I'm sure if you contact them, the person on the other line on the phone is going to sell you this like they can't live without it, but there's nothing to back it up. So again, that is a huge red flag to me. And anybody that's following Q, we all know what they say about bloodletting in children and getting blood from younger people. So let's look at what does the Ambrosia mean in Greek mythology? This is what I put in Google. In the ancient Greek myths, ancient Greek is the food or drink of the Greek gods, often depicted as conferring longevity, or, this is what I want you guys to look at, immortality upon whoever consumed it. Now, before we continue, guys, I got to put a disclaimer out there. I have to be very careful about what I'm going to start talking about because this stuff is what gets channels shut down, but it is what it is. So we all know about Hillary and the claims that Q makes and the things that Hillary, Epstein, these higher elites do with children, how they sacrifice kids to Moloch, the satanic cult, and they do these rituals and they get the stuff called adrenochrome. And this is what they drink, who knows whatever else they do, right? So this is just an article on Bloomberg I just wanted to throw in there too. The Bloody Tale of Ambrosia, the startup that wants to slow aging. And it's pretty much just talking about how they've in the real scientific realm, as far as the studies of blood transfusions, they've only done these blood transfusions with mice, and it has been moderately successful. Not successful every time, moderately successful. And these scientists are pretty much saying that these claims that this Ambrosia blood transfusion company is stating that it's most likely BS, and there's no actual scientific journal or statistics to actually back up the claims that they're having. But the weird thing is the FDA gave them a warning, right? But if you look further into the FDA, because it's a transfusion service, they're allowing it to continue to happen. Even though they did get a warning, they didn't shut down the business, and this is why now this is currently in 5 different places in the United States where you can actually do this. You can actually go to these facilities and have your blood transfused with younger people's blood. And guys, this is, anyone can do this. This isn't just an elite thing now where, you have to go to a satanic ritual cult to do this. You can go right to a doctor's office. You say doctor, they're not really doctors. And the funny thing is, they talk about the doctors he uses in other research that I've done, and he will not give names of these doctors. They're contracted out, and they have an anonymity. You don't know who they are. Sketchy stuff. But pretty much this article, which I'm also going to link down below, talks about how it's a bunch of BS, and they've tested on rats, and rats obviously are completely different than humans, but this guy from Ambrosia is saying that he's still doing it, and he knows what the results in the work are. So, let's get into Q. I want you guys to remember these 2 Q drops. The first one I have up is 3464. Dark delight, pedophilia, child trafficking, Satan worship, bloodletting of children. It says, dark delight, hunters become the hunted. This is not another 4-year election. And when you click on the tweet that Q linked in this specific time, and I remember this being just this past summer, was Kevin Shipp, who directly called out the elite in the satanic practices. He says, pedophilia, child trafficking, Satan worship, bloodletting of children in plain view. But I say to you, the rest who are in Thyatira, who do not hold this teaching, who have not known the deep things of Satan, as they call them, I place no other burden on you, Revelation 2:24. So this is a direct verse from the final book in the Bible. And as you can see here, guys, he links 3 pictures. Actually, there's more than 3, but you can't really see. It's really tiny. But this is Madonna in one of her shows. And if you guys have seen her shows, you can see the satanic occult in all of her shows. You can see it here with these horns. I've seen this video specifically, and it looks like a ritual, like they're about to perform some sacrifices right on the stage. And as you keep going, there's weird guys cutting up what looks like a human cake. Weird stuff. And again, with a sharp knife cut deeply into the middle finger of your left hand, eat the pain. And we all know what that means. Satanic stuff, guys. So, the reason why I bring this up is because Q mentions bloodletting of children. And the other one I want to get into, before we get into the crazy part of this video, let's look at Q drop 3360. Worth remembering, Hillary Clinton and foundation crime against children. And this was a screenshot from the Inspector General report on Fox. Hillary Clinton Foundation are crimes against children. This isn't, when you say crimes against children, it's some serious stuff that Hillary and her foundation have specifically done to children. And Q says, worth remembering, Q. And this was from February 22nd of this past year. Now, everyone says, oh my gosh, why do you have to link everything to the Clintons? How is this possible? Well, I'm going to show you guys right now. This is going to blow your minds. So first, I want to show you guys what adrenochrome is. And some of you may not have heard of it. And some people believe adrenochrome is not even a real thing. So I'm going to read you this one down here first, the Conspiracy Wiki. Their definition of adrenochrome reads this: alternatively called neuromelanin, is a psychosomatic drug suspected to have been used in Project MK Ultra. Like lysergic acid diethylamide, secret Cold War experiments tested various drugs during unethical human experimentation in the United States. So people, when they first hear of adrenochrome, automatically think it's tied up to conspiracy theory. It's fake. It has nothing to do with what's real. Well, when you go up to here, you find that's completely untrue. Adrenochrome is a real thing, and when you Google it, it says adrenochrome is a chemical compound with a molecular formula produced by the oxidization of adrenaline, epinephrine. The derivative carbazochrome is a homeostatic medication. Despite a similarity in chemical names, it is unrelated to chrome or chromium. I botched a lot of those names. It is what it is. So, the main thing I want you guys to see here says adrenochrome is a chemical compound with a molecular formula produced by the oxidization of adrenaline. So, I was looking up, where can you get adrenaline? Well, what's an EpiPen? EpiPens are synthetic adrenaline. And what I want to show you guys here is, I looked up on, it's called RX List, EpiPens, right? Everyone can see it. If you scroll down here, epinephrine solution deteriorates rapidly on exposure to air or light, turning pink from oxidation to adrenochrome and brown from the formation of melanin. So what I found out also, guys, EpiPens have an expiration of about 18 months. And once that 18 months hit, this oxidization starts to happen, and it turns the chemical, the synthetic adrenaline inside these EpiPens into adrenochrome. And that's not just thrown in the trash. I can promise you that. This stuff is being used. But the links I want to show you guys to the Clintons are right here. This was an article from the New York Post from August 25th of 2016. Company that price gouged EpiPen is Clinton Foundation donor. You can't make this stuff up, guys. The pharmaceutical company under fire for increasing the cost of its life-saving EpiPen has been criticized by Hillary Clinton, despite the fact that the manufacturer donated the Clinton Foundation. Records available on the website of the Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton Foundation reveal Mylan, the company that manufactures the EpiPen, has donated up to $250,000. So I went on Mylan's website, and they are the biggest producer of these EpiPens. Right here. Mylan. And not only that, you have another one called Kaleo, who's, I believe, the second largest producer of EpiPens. They all have connections to the Clinton Foundation. And what did I do? I went right to the clintonfoundation.org. Let's see who their generous supporters are, as you can see here. And as you scroll down the list, there is Mylan. It's like, holy shit, right? You cannot make this stuff up, guys. You have a direct connection of this EpiPen manufacturer being a prominent donor to the Clinton Foundation. And everyone knows, the ones that really have been following Q for a very long time and know the atrocities that happened on Epstein Island, not just on top of the island, but inside the caves, inside the island, what they were doing under the temples. I'm not going to say the stuff I know that happened on this episode, because I don't want YouTube to take the episode down or what have you. But it had everything to do with children, and when adrenochrome is produced in actual children, they have to be in a state of fear and high stress. So the story that is not yet out in the media about what was going on Epstein Island, they were doing terrible things to these kids, and they were getting this adrenochrome out of them. I don't know satanic rituals, nor do I want to know anything about them really and what the procedures are, but this adrenochrome is the nectar of the gods to these people that practice these things, and they want to live forever. And you have these connections with the Clintons. We know the Clintons were on Epstein Island. We know Hillary was at one point. We definitely know Bill was at some point, at multiple times. But this is the connection that I drew. So I didn't know that the EpiPen, the largest EpiPen manufacturer, had direct ties to the Clinton Foundation. And I hate, because even when I'm researching this, it's like, oh, everything's going back to the Clintons, but this is the picture that I'm painting for you guys. So the fact that this company Ambrosia is out now in the public just doing this, it almost makes me think of when you see these articles about these pedophiles that are talking about, are stating that scientists is now finding that pedophile, it's just a state of mind. They're not criminals. It's just in them. This nature of wanting to have these sexual relations with children, and they're not criminals, and nor do not treat them like criminals. It's almost like they're gauging to see how far the public is going to be okay with these things. And with this, I feel like this is the same thing, except with blood transfusions, trying to make people maybe younger. And again, there's no scientific evidence that I could find that this actually works. But the fact that it's out there and the FDA is kind of just like, well, we're just going to let it happen. We warned them, but it's not killing anybody. We'll just let it go. It just makes you think. And it's scary as hell to think about that these treatment places are out there and you can actually do this. So that's all I had today, guys, as far as what I found on Ambrosia. But the link of the EpiPens with the Adrenochrome to the Clintons, that blew my mind, and I hope it blew your mind too, guys. So that is my dig into Ambrosia right now. But if you guys can find anything else that maybe I've missed, please send it to me. Just let me know. I'll give you a shout out, whatever you guys want. We are one big family trying to get the truth out there. Just remember that. It comes from a good place of love, a good place of truth, and that is all I'm here to do. Nothing more, nothing less, and have a good time with you guys. I love doing this. So that is all I have. And, oh yeah, I'm going to throw this in there. I'm not going to play the video because I didn't know about copyright and I didn't want to get this video taken down. The first thing I could find as far as the history of adrenochrome, even hitting the mainstream, was from this movie called Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's from 1998. And this is the lawyer and the client is behind him. And he tells him to drink some adrenochrome and he has this acid trip. But this stuff's been around for a while, guys. It's just now being thrown in our faces. These things have been going on for decades. And as far as child sacrifice and all that, that's been going on for centuries, unfortunately. But this is the world we live in, and the world that is being broken down and pulled down is being exposed. And with channels like mine and all the others out there, we're exposing it, guys. This is what we're doing. So, again, before you go, please like the video, subscribe, share it, tell your friends and family. Drop this red pill on them. Maybe it'll make them ask more questions. We'll have to see. So until then, guys, I'm going to try to do another episode before Friday. I have to see. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, even though I do have to work regardless. It is what it is. If I don't see you guys, have an awesome Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. If not, just have a nice day off from work. And until then, stay woke.